Snow rested gently on the window ledge, the kind that made the world look forgiven. Inside the small house, a Christmas tree blinked softly, red, gold, and green lights reflecting off ornaments collected over 10 long years of marriage. Daniel sat on the couch, holding a mug of coffee that had already gone cold. He watched the lights, waiting for the day to feel like Christmas again. It didn't. From the kitchen came the quiet sound of dishes. Emily moved carefully, as if one wrong sound might break something fragile already cracked beyond repair. "Daniel," she finally said, her voice calm, but too calm. He looked up. "Yeah, we need to talk." Those 4 words hit harder than any winter storm. A marriage wrapped in appearances. They had met young, loved deeply, promised forever under a summer sky. But forever slowly turned into routine. Daniel worked long hours. Emily learned how to smile alone. Conversations became short, then silent. Love didn't disappear, it faded, quietly, the way Christmas lights burn out one by one. Still, Daniel believed Christmas could fix anything. That morning, he had placed a small gift under the tree. Inside was a necklace Emily once admired years ago. A reminder, a hope, the words that shattered Christmas. Emily sat across from him at the dining table. The tree lights reflected in her eyes, but there was no warmth there. "I want a divorce," she said. Just like that. The clock ticked loudly. Somewhere outside, children laughed, and church bells rang in the distance. Daniel felt his chest tighten. "Today," he whispered. "On Christmas. I didn't plan it for today," she replied softly. "But I couldn't pretend anymore." He looked at her, searching for anger, for someone else's name, for anything that made sense. "Is there someone else?" She shook her head. "No, there's just nothing left." Memories under the tree. Daniel stood up suddenly and walked to the tree. "Do you remember our first Christmas?" he asked. "We had no money. We shared one gift." Emily's eyes filled with tears. "I remember," she said. "That's the problem. I remember everything." She stood too, her hands shaking. "I begged you to see me, Daniel. To hear me. You were always tired, always busy. I became invisible in my own marriage." Silence fell again. This time, it stayed. The gift that changed nothing. Daniel handed her the small box. "I bought this for you," he said. "I thought maybe we could start again." Emily opened it. The necklace sparkled beautifully. For a moment, her face softened. Then she closed the box. "I don't need gifts," she said through tears. "I needed you." That was when Daniel understood. Love doesn't end loudly. It dies quietly, when people stop listening. A lonely Christmas afternoon. Emily packed a single suitcase. At the door, she turned back. "I hope one day you forgive me." Daniel nodded, unable to speak. The door closed. Christmas carols played from a neighbor's house as Daniel sank onto the couch, alone with the blinking lights and unopened gifts. He cried, not loudly, but deeply. Healing begins in silence. That night, Daniel walked outside. Snow fell gently onto his coat. He looked up at the sky and whispered a prayer, not for her return, but for understanding. Christmas, he realized, isn't about holding on. Sometimes, it's about letting go. 1 year later, next Christmas, the house looked different. Smaller, quieter, but warmer. Daniel volunteered at a local shelter that morning, serving meals, listening to stories, learning again how to be present. As he placed a star on a small Christmas tree, he smiled, not because everything was perfect, but because he was finally awake.
Endings come on the most unexpected days. But even a Christmas broken by goodbye can become the beginning of healing. Because sometimes, losing love teaches us how to love better.